I said that I was going to decompress for the day. I was going to go back there in that chair right there and connect with my son and my daughter and play some Minecraft and relax for the evening and watch the Lions and Vikings game. Never mind. Let's get into this. Dolphins fans, NFL fans, anybody who's watching the video, thank you for coming and checking out my channel. I really do appreciate it. I know that there's a million different things, a million different channels, and other places you could be watching, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now I'm going to get into a couple things here. I want to talk a little bit, tiny bit about the game. I wasn't going to do all this tonight, but I feel like I need to at this point. And plus, I'm a little pissed off. So, let's get into this and talk about this, and then we'll get into the whole Tyreek Hill thing here in a second. First of all, we know that the Dolphins lost their game against the Jets. We know that that's happened. It's over. They lost 20-32. The Jets pulled off the victory. Aaron Rodgers had a good game. He finished with 23 of 36 for 274 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He had a 44 QBR and a rating of 112.5. Congratulations, Aaron Rodgers, on a good game. If it was your last game, that's a good one to end your career on. Well done. Moving on. Breece Hall had 12 carries for 57 yards. As Isaiah Davis, 4 carries for 41 yards. Braden Allen had 4 carries for 15 yards. Overall, they went with 118 yards rushing and 257 yards passing. So, good all-around game for the Jets. They played well. They beat us fair and square. Moving on. Not how I wanted the game to end. Not how I wanted the season to end, finishing at 8-9. It's disappointing. I said it was unacceptable to finish at that, and since we are 8-9 and the season is over, doesn't matter anyway. But the Broncos absolutely destroyed the Chiefs secondary, and you kind of expected it. I did pick the Chiefs to win, just because it would have made it more fun. And like I said, I'm a fan too, but I did say that it was highly unlikely. The Dolphins finished at 8-9 for the season. Today, Tyler Huntley went 25 of 41 for 227 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also had a fumble. He had a few fumbles. A QBR of 31.3 and a rating of 63.8. Not a good game for Tyler Huntley. But what do you expect? I know some other YouTubers on about Miami were also saying that the line played decent today. I completely and 100% disagree. The offensive line played like absolute doo-doo butter, as Dudley Do-Wrong would say. Doo-doo butter. I love the word. It's funny, and in this situation, it fits perfectly. Our offensive line was trash. I don't care what anybody says. Some people say Teron Armstead played a good game. No, he didn't. He played a terrible game. Our whole offensive line was trash. All across the board. Say what you want, but that's what I saw. And I'm calling it like I see it. Obviously, I'm a little more pissed off now than I was at the end of my live stream because of what happened after the live stream with the player interviews. We'll get into that in a second. Devon Achane, 11 carries for 121 yards and 1 touchdown and a long of 61. Well, now you're going to say, well, if he had 121 yards, the offensive line must have done good. No, they didn't do good. Devon Achane is just a beast. Devon Achane made people miss him at the line of scrimmage repeatedly to scrape that 121 yards together. Congratulations, Devon Achane. You are a bright, shining star in this field of crap that the Miami Dolphins are. I have nothing bad to say about him. I hope he stays with us, but we'll see. Jalen Waddle, 1 catch for 6 yards. Or 1 rush for 6 yards, and that was about it for rushing. For receiving, Jalen Waddle, 4 catches for 44. Malik Washington, 4 for 48. Jonnu Smith, 9 for 56 and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 2 catches for 20 yards. And he sat out the fourth quarter. Just sat it out. Didn't want to be in the game or something. I was thinking it was an injury, but I've changed my mind. We'll get into that in a second. um, that's about it. Defense actually had a pretty decent game. I know they gave up a bunch of touchdowns to Aaron Rodgers, but like I said, when you're given a lot of very unfavorable situations repeatedly over and over and over again, this is going to happen. The defense is not going to be able to make stops constantly because they're constantly being given short fields to work with, unfair situations where they've spent a bunch of time on the field making a stop, and then they get off the field to get a break, and the ball gets given away immediately, and they go right back on the field exhausted. Our defense played their hearts out today, and I have zero complaints about our defense. I know we gave up 32 points, but you can't expect anything better from our defense considering the situation that they were constantly put in by our crap offense. Offense is the problem. It was definitely the problem today, and it was the same problems that our front office told us not to worry about repeatedly. So, that's enough of looking at that game. It's over. This Dolphins season is over. Everybody take a deep breath. I'm going to do the same because I'm about to get very hot in this next part of this. At the end of the game, Mike McDaniel had his interview, and he didn't really say anything in it, much like most of his post-game, pre-game interviews during the week or whatever. Anything he does with the press, most of the stuff he says is not anything that's going to be anything that you can take anything from. It was just whatever. Mike McDaniel called an absolutely horrible game, start to finish. Called a terrible game. The pitches, the sweeps, the left and the east and west running game, it doesn't work. The only time we had success running the ball in this game was when it was north-south running. That was it. There was no success left and right. But he kept repeatedly calling it. Screen passes weren't working. What did we keep doing? Screen passes over and over and over and over and over again. These problems are consistent, they're very evident, and it needs to stop. It's not going to stop because we had all year for him to stop this. He did not. I'm going to get into all of this. Like I said, this is a short video, but I'm going to get into all these issues as we move into the offseason once I calm down a little bit. But that's the reason we lost the game. We lost the game because of crappy offensive line play and because of crappy quarterback play and because of crappy play calling. Those three things. That's it. That's why we lost. Fight me on this. Moving on. Tyreek Hill, after the game, gave an interview where he said some things that, well, set me off. This is just a brief little snippet of what he said. There was a little bit more, and it was very, very clear that he's frustrated and upset, and he's given up. I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career. He also went on to say that he has better things to do, and what did he say? He said he had better things to do than continue playing in a situation like this, and he kind of trailed off on that. But that's what he said. So, opening the door, I'm out, bro. Here's my response to Tyreek Hill. Piss off. Fine. Get out of here. Nobody wants that kind of attitude on their team. You want to be a crybaby and whine to the press after a game like that, where you did absolutely nothing to change it? That's what you're gonna do? Say some crap like that on national TV for a post-game interview for the end of the season? I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but I got to look out for the best for my career. Piss off. Bye. I hope they get rid of him. I hope they trade him, and I hope that it doesn't hurt us too much. But at this point, we should not want somebody like that on our team. This tells me that all season, all those stupid posts where I'm out, bro. I'm out, coach. All that stuff, I got to go, coach. Whatever all that crap was, and all the stuff before it, he meant it. He was saying what everybody thought he might have been saying. He's not getting the ball like he wants. He wants out. Fine. Get him gone. Any football team has a player like that. It does nothing but cause problems. Get him off the team. I don't care who it is. I don't care if he's the best player on the face of the planet for the last 20 years. Get him out. Get him gone. Bye. See you later. Kick rocks, kid. Take your big ass family and all those illegitimate children and get out of here. Get gone. Take yourself out of the state of Florida where you get no taxes and just go get a job somewhere else, man. I don't want him here, especially with that attitude. And as Dolphins fans, I don't think any of us should either. Okay, I'm taking it down a notch now that it's over. I'm getting this off my screen because it's disgusting me just looking at his face right now. There we go. Now my disgusting face is on the screen. That's a little better. I can handle my own disgusting face. Folks, this is a problem. I know it's the end of the season, but it's a good time to rectify it. I wouldn't want anybody like that on my team. If I was another player and I heard him give an interview like that, I would tell him the same thing. Kick rocks then. Good luck finding another job somewhere else. I hope you do. We don't want you here. Getting that upset and saying some stuff like that when you did nothing to help. You talked a good game. That's about it. So, moving on. It's frustrating, folks. But I am not without hope. There is a way out of this. And I'm gonna make some videos here during the off season, of course. I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep reporting what's going on as news comes out. I'd expect some changes next week. I wouldn't expect some of this to take too much longer to happen. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I know what I'd like to have happen. A few things right off the bat. I'm not gonna talk about players, of what happens with the players. I'm just gonna talk about other things. Right off the bat, I want Chris Grier fired, number one. Number two, I want Mike McDaniel to give up play calling. I'm not saying fire him as the head coach. I'm saying he gives up play calling or he's fired. That needs to happen. He cannot call plays. He needs to grow. He needs to learn. And he needs to learn from an offensive coordinator, somebody who's experienced in calling plays. He needs to give up plays. Chris Grier needs to be fired. Those are the first two things that need to happen. Number three, Anthony Weaver's probably going to end up with a head coaching job. If he does, we need to prepare. Who are we going to have for a defensive coordinator? There's rumors that Robert Saleh is going to come down to Miami and give a talk and have a talk with the front office. If that happens, I think Robert Saleh would be a fantastic hire as a defensive coordinator. If it doesn't happen, I think Anthony Weaver is the answer on defense. I think he needs to stay. I like Anthony Weaver. He's a leader. He's a good man. And he knows defense. I know we gave up 32 points today, but please, look at the game. Think about what happened in that game and the disadvantage that our offense put our defense in. So those three things. Possible defensive coordinator hire. Talk to some of these guys before they get snatched up. Fire Chris Grier. I don't care who replaces him. It doesn't matter. It couldn't be any worse. And Mike McDaniel needs to give up play calling. That's the three things that need to happen before anything else. Then we can start evaluating players and other coaching positions and working all this other stuff out. But those three things need to happen. What say you? Comment, like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want to do. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious to see how the rest of Dolphins Nation feels. And I still hope you guys all have a great evening. Thank you for coming and watching the channel. I do appreciate it. I know it was a short one. Have a great evening. Fins up. And please, stay hopeful.